In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on August 9, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Athletics versus Baltimore Orioles. The Athletics are set to clash with the Baltimore Orioles over at Camden Yards this Saturday, kicking off another round of action as both teams try to find their footing and maybe string together some momentum in what's shaping up to be a gritty stretch of the season. Baltimore scraped by with just 3 hits last night but still pulled out the win, and now they're eyeing a third straight victory to keep the good vibes rolling at home. The Orioles have held their own with a 28-27 record on their turf this year, showing they can protect the yard when it counts, while the Athletics have stumbled to 28-33 away from Oakland, dropping games they probably should have had in the bag. The A's have been flipping between wins and losses in their past 5 outings, a back and forth that's kept them from building any real steam. And they're rolling with Perkins on the mound, who got roughed up for 4 earned runs and 5 hits in just 3 innings during his debut start, raising questions about his stamina early on. Meanwhile, the Orioles are turning to Young, who's been stingy lately by giving up only 2 earned runs across his last 10.2 innings, mixing pitches to keep hitters off balance. It'll be worth watching if Perkins can stretch deeper into this one without unraveling, but even with Young's recent sharp showings, I'm not sold on him holding up under pressure. As our first pick for this matchup, the Athletics' money line is our full game side pick. This matchup looks primed for the scoreboard to light up with plenty of runs crossing the plate, especially given how both squads have been leaking hits and mistakes from the hill all season long. The Athletics and Orioles sit near the bottom of the pack in pitching across the majors, with the Athletics clocking in at a rough 4.96 team earned run average that lands them 28th overall, while the Orioles aren't much better at 4.85, struggling to shut down lineups when it matters. Oakland's bats have been on fire lately, smashing away and piling up extra bases, which sets them up nicely for a trip to Camden Yards, where the park's played huge for homers with a 141 factor this year, topping every spot except Dodger Stadium and turning routine flies into game changers. On top of that, Young's had a tough go throwing in front of the home crowd, posting a bloated 6.85 earned run average at Camden while coughing up 7 dingers in only 23.1 innings, leaving the door wide open for visitors to tee off. Baltimore's cashed the over in 6 of their last 9 at home, and they're 24-17-2 when slotted as the favorite on their field, while the A's have gone over in 36 of their games as road underdogs with 26 losses and 5 pushes, pointing to a trend where the hits keep coming and the totals climb without much resistance. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Guardians versus Chicago White Sox. The Cleveland Guardians sitting at 59-55 and the Chicago White Sox at 42-73 are set to square off in the second tilt of their 3-game American League Central showdown this Saturday, with both squads looking to make their mark as the division race heats up and the season charges toward its final push. Cleveland's really caught fire lately, rattling off 4 straight wins, all away from home, while stacking up 8 victories in their last 9 games overall, proving they've got the grit to turn things around when it counts. That surge has propelled the Guardians into second place in the American League Central, trimming the gap to just 6 games behind the front-running Detroit Tigers and putting some real pressure on the top spot. Meanwhile, the White Sox are stuck in a rut, dropping each of their past 5 outings and falling to 24-33 at home after Friday's setback, unable to shake off the mistakes that keep piling up. The Guardians kicked things off strong with a 9-5 win in the opener, and they've been money as favorites lately, going 5-1 in their past 6 in that role, while dominating on the road with a 7-2 marks over their last 9 away games. They're also 4-1 across 5 visits to Guaranteed Rate Field this year, including snagging 3 of 4 back from July 11th to July 13th right here on the South Side. Chicago's been leaking runs like crazy, giving up at least 8 in 4 of their last 5 and averaging 7.4 per game during this 5-game slide, with the over cashing 4-0-1 in that stretch to boot. Sure, there's something tempting about backing a home underdog now and then, and I'll tip my cap to Sean Burke for stringing together some solid efforts in his recent starts, showing flashes of what he can do on the mound. That said, the Guardians are just clicking on all cylinders right now, grinding out results no matter the spot, and with Detroit wobbling a bit, this feels like prime time for Cleveland to close in even more on that American League Central lead. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cleveland Guardians money line is our full game side pick. Pitching has been the backbone for both these clubs in 2025, anchoring them through the ups and downs, but whenever they lock horns, it's the bats that steal the show, with the over splitting even at 5-5 in their last 10 head-to-head clashes, and a whopping 48 combined runs across just 5 meetings this season alone. For Cleveland, the overs landed in 6 of their past 10 games overall, averaging 5.6 runs scored per outing in that window, while the White Sox have seen the over hit in 6 of their last 10 with 1 tie and 3 unders, coughing up more than 5 runs per game on average during that span and leaving the door open for high-scoring affairs. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Mets versus Milwaukee Brewers. The New York Mets, holding a 63-52 mark, are pushing to climb those National League East standings as they head into American Family Field this Saturday night for the middle game of their 3-game set against the Milwaukee Brewers, who sit strong at 70-44 and look to keep their momentum rolling in what's shaping up to be a tight battle under the lights. It'd be handy to have the scoop on who's towing the rubber for the Mets in this one, but honestly, given where both squads stand right now, I'm not convinced it shifts the needle much either way. The Brewers are on a tear, consistently scraping out wins with that gritty edge they've honed all season, while the Mets keep stumbling into creative slumps, dropping contests at the absolute worst moments and failing to capitalize when it counts. This should shape up as a scrappy affair with both sides digging in, but in the end, I see Milwaukee finding a way to pull it off once more. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full game side pick. The Mets have been scraping by with 4.36 runs per game on average and just 3 per outing over their last 3, batting .257 overall while going up against a Brewers staff that's surrendered 14 runs across their past 3 tilts, which hasn't exactly locked things down. Milwaukee's putting up 5 runs per game on the regular and matched that clip in their recent trio of games, hitting .244 against righties but facing a starter who's kept it tight by allowing only 2 runs in his last 3 starts, showing some real command lately. Don't count on either lineup breaking out in a big way here, as the hits stay sparse and the final tally falls short of that posted total. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas City Royals versus Minnesota Twins. In Game 2 of this American League Central showdown at Target Field, the Minnesota Twins, sitting at 55-60, are hosting the Kansas City Royals, setting the stage for another tight divisional scrap as both sides look to gain ground and shake things up in the standings with the season grinding on. These two have gone back and forth all year, splitting their 8 head-to-head matchups so far, keeping things even and unpredictable whenever they square off. The Twins are riding high on a 3-game winning streak, finding ways to close out close ones, while the Royals have hit a bump with losses in 3 of their past 4, struggling to string together consistent play. It's no shock that Kansas City's getting the nod as favorites here against Ober, who started strong against them earlier in the season but has since faltered, with the Twins dropping his last 8 starts and him coughing up at least 4 runs in each of the most recent 6. Cameron's had a mixed bag, surrendering 4 runs in 2 of his last 3 outings but blanking opponents in 2 of his past 4, showing flashes of shutdown stuff when he's on. When it comes down to the Kansas City Royals versus Minnesota Twins breakdown, Cameron's poised for the sharper performance while Ober stumbles again, paving the way for the Royals to snag the second game of the series. As our first pick for this matchup, the Kansas City Royals money line is our full game side pick. Bailey Ober's sitting with a 5.38 earned run average, and paired with Kansas City's bats heating up lately, that over 8.5 feels like it's right in play without much sweat. These squads have teamed up for an average of 9.3 runs per game across their last 10 tilts combined, and with bullpens that have been wobbly, Minnesota's crew at a 5.21 earned run average and Kansas City's at 5.32, there's plenty of room for scores to climb. The Twins slot in 8th in the American League for dingers and have pushed over the total in 7 of their past 10 outings, while the Royals boast an 18-5 mark when they connect for 2 or more homers in a game. Throw in heavy hitters like Bobby Witt Jr. and Trevor Larnach who can change things quick, plus starters who leave the ball up for contact. and you've got all the makings of a back-and-forth slugfest that sails past the line. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Philadelphia Phillies versus Texas Rangers. On Saturday evening, the Philadelphia Phillies, sitting at 65-49 and holding down first in the National League East, are heading into Globe Life Field to kick off a 3-game series against the Texas Rangers, who are 54-56 and scrapping in 4th place in the American League East, with both squads looking to set the tone right from the jump in what could be a pivotal set as the season charges ahead. The Rangers have been dialing in against southpaws lately, stepping up their game at the plate when it matters, while Luzardo's been all over the map this year with more peaks and valleys than you'd like from a starter. DeGrom's still got that elite stuff that makes him one of the game's top arms, and he's got a solid track record against these Phillies from his days lighting it up with the Mets back in the day. I see DeGrom steering Texas to a hard-fought win in this spot. As our first pick for this matchup, the Texas Rangers money line is our full game side pick. The Phillies exploded late in the 9th last night to turn it into a rout, but up until then, it was a nail-biter with some sharp arms keeping things close and competitive. Philadelphia's been hovering at 29-28 away from home this season, grinding through those road trips, while the Rangers have been tough to beat on their turf with a 36-22 mark, protecting Globe Life like it's their fortress. Texas is desperate to chain some victories together and get back in the mix, especially with DeGrom on the bump despite him leaking 5 earned runs in each of his last 2 turns. On the other side, Phillies rolling with Luzardo, who's been inconsistent by giving up 3, 0, 6, and 4 earned runs across his past 4 outings, leaving the door open for some fireworks. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.